We'll call the annual school board meeting for the Madison Central School District to order. New board members, well, Alice, you stand by the flag, we'll take your oath of office. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of South Dakota, and that you will faithfully and impartially perform your duties as a member of the school board of the Madison Central School District, Lake County, South Dakota, to the best of your ability, and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter be enacted during your continuance in said office until your successor is elected and qualified?
I do.
Sign. You can actually do it after this. Sign your.
I like how you all just run away.
Did you get your picture?
Well, get used to that, that's what.
Now, you did hear that last sentence, right?
Yeah.
Your successor is elected and appointed. Heard that last
This,
sentence.
yeah, this is gonna be a long time.
Heavy on that one. I never thought that one when I started. Township board.
And so now, nominations don't need a motion or a second. I'll call for nominations for school board president.
I nominate Lori Schultz.
Okay.
Move that we cease nominations, is that?
Okay, you
Can
can
I
do
do
that,
that?
yeah. Is there a second for that? It'd be cease nominations and then it'd be unanimous ballot cast.
Second.
Jordan? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. President Schultz, you can take over the meeting.
Okay, well, thank you guys, I think. No, it's actually,
New stamp.
no, yeah, then we have to get a new stamp, that's right. All right, I will call for nominations and election for the vice president.
Nominate Steve Wilson.
I will cease nominations. Right?
Yep, yep.
Okay, all right.
Let me just,
Oh, no, wait, we first of all have to have a second, don't we?
we got call, are you gonna do the motion on it?
Yeah,
Okay,
right?
you can, yep.
Yeah,
And then call for a second.
yeah. Motion to go ahead and appoint Steve Nelson as vice president for the Madison Central School Board for the term of 24-25.
Whatever you need.
Okay.
Yes. Second or first or
Second,
so
you'll be my
moved.
second. Kirsty is gonna be the nomination. Okay, great. All those in favor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. So now we can just get on to business again, right?
Yep.
Okay, we have one addition to the agenda. Would like to add 21B, which would be to amend the certified agreement to change the health insurance district contribution for 24-25. So with that amendment, could I go ahead and get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve with the amendment.
Okay, second?
I'll second that.
All right, very good. Okay, we got Lori and Joel. Or Lori, jeez.
Yourself.
Hey, you know, myself. I'm sorry. No. Okay, all those in favor, go ahead and vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, we have personnel action next. Mr. Jorgensen, do you want to take that over?
Sure. Stan Podds, our Director of Transportation, will be retiring effective January 3rd, 2025, so basically end of the first semester. Gene Haig, who's been a custodian here for a number of years, has retired effective July 5th. Resignation, Lisa Moody in Transportation was effective July 3rd. Then we have request to hire Dion Cross as a custodial at $17.50 an hour. Nina Maloney as a certified title tutor at $18.50 per hour. Those are both for 24-25 school year. We have some educational adjustments per our master agreement. Carly Menegos will move to a BA plus 15 at $54,208. Nicole Gabriel to MA plus 30 at $63,111. And then contract changes for 24-25, Nicole Seringer, add assistant volleyball, level 3, 2 years experience at $3,270. That'll replace Katie Wheeldryer. And Nicole was the C, now she'll move up to the JV. Audra Lynham at Educators Rising at level 4 with 0 years at $1,804. That's to replace Sarah Landy. Sarah's still here. She's not going to be doing the Educators Rising piece.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Hearing of delegations and written communication.
We're going to ask for a motion. It wasn't on
Oh,
the
we
agenda.
don't?
We should have a motion.
We should have a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry
No,
about
that
that.
was us. We didn't have
So
it on the
moved.
agenda.
Okay. Steve, second by Jordan. Okay, all those in favor of the motion on the floor to go ahead and approve the personnel items, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, thank you, Mr. Jorgensen, for catching that. Hearing of delegations and written communications. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to number 9, administrator report.
Excuse me. So staffing wise, we're sitting pretty good right now. Always looking for bus drivers. As we get into concrete work, lots being done on, we've added more space on the bus pickup area here. You'll see we added another 4.5 feet wide to give more space for students when we have bus pickup taking place. That work is done. Mitch said he was over at the elementary day. If you notice the elementary parking lot where the handicap for the main drop-off was versus where the drain was, it didn't run to the drain, it ran to the handicap spot. So we're cutting in a concrete little tunnel and a little dipped channel, I think, to get it to drain properly. That was being worked on. Block wall in the middle school that had some issues on the north side. It's not a structural wall, but we had cracking, so they came and they fixed that. And you saw that we got a CTE grant. That table that will be coming, we'll definitely show you that when it gets here. I've walked by it a couple times at conferences, figuring, well, we're never going to be able to afford one of these, but with the grant stuff, it'll be nice to have that. We also have another grant that I'll be able to talk about more next month, probably. That will be another positive for us, and that'll be more in elementary.
That's wonderful.
Summer maintenance is in progress. It's going well. Upcoming dates, August 8th and 9th is the Associated School Boards Conference down in Sioux Falls. So if you want to get registered for that, let Mitch know and he'll get you registered. Then August 12th is the board meeting. August 12th, 13th, and 14th is our district in-service. August 15th and 16th is district open house. August 16th, girls tennis at Pier. August 19th, boys golf at West Central. August 20th, first day of school. August 27th, early dismissal for the DSU event. August 29th, volleyball at Flandreau. And August 30th, football versus Alfouche. And I know there's a cross country in there somewhere too, but I didn't have that date yet. So a lot of things coming up in August. And then just wanted to throw a little discussion out about JLG presentation from last month. They came and they presented on different areas. I gave you a hard copy of what they had on projector last month. From my point of view, I know since I've been here, I've heard a lot about the middle school entrance. We've seen it. I would definitely be in support of looking at moving forward with getting some information from JLG on cost to get more refined plans. If we're looking at the middle school, that's just my take on it as I look at funds that we have and what we can do. I would sure like to have a separate bus lane and some changes done to the middle school entrance if that's what the board's thinking. So if you want me to get a hold of them and have them get some more information for us on what the next steps and the cost would be, I'll gladly do that. If you'd rather go a different direction, I'd like to know that as well.
Okay, so what are everybody's thoughts on that? I mean, are you the same line of thinking as Mr. Jorgensen, or? I know it's hard for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, so at our goal setting meetings, we have one every fall. And we go through the administrators come, we all bring different goals, the school board members, everybody comes. And this has been on for as long as I've been on the board. Steve I mean,
I was there for the original.
yeah, okay.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, well, you probably, you've been with
But
Noah's
it
Ark
started out,
probably.
it was like a dinner,
First
it was like
board
an
meeting
evening
ever.
away, and you had supper, and it was quite the shindig, but we didn't get as much done, because you were just visiting and eating. And so I like the way you did it.
The board retreat, you mean, okay, all right, but I was talking about the middle school entrance.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. That's a no-brainer. Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just following along.
Yeah, you were just-
I was just helping you out.
yeah, perfect.
Whatever you wanna talk about, I'm here for you.
So, I mean, does anybody have any opposition to that idea, or?
I think it's a great idea. I think it really needs to be changed. Safety and structure.
Jordan, I think you had want something, I can just tell it.
Were you planning a big one or just to see where we're at?
Basically, moving forward, it can be anywhere from the small end they showed to the large end we showed, or anywhere in between. We just asked them to come up with some initial ones.
Sure.
To give us at least give you folks a ballpark of what we're talking about for funds. And it's a ballpark, so the numbers they gave, that's just their estimate. It can be anywhere in between that, it can be more or less than what they have, but if we want to get serious about it, then the next step is gonna be actually coming with some solid plans, and it would involve talking and finding out if you want some classrooms as well, versus what they had as a way to do it without affecting the football field, or whatever it may be, and you want the main entrance still to be the one from the south, or do we want it to be one that comes in from the east? And those would be all the discussions that would have to take place.
And I would assume that would be in the building committee. Those decisions would probably be more discussed on.
They would come forward with a lot of that, and they bring that to the board too.
Yeah,
So
so-
one involved all the board members having to be at those.
We're not
Right.
agreeing to option A, B, or C, we're just
Right.
agreeing to go and get the options.
Right.
Because they could make a hybrid of this entrance, but that building.
Right,
construction.
yeah.
Correct.
So many
It can
different-
be, those are, like I say, those are just two things they showed, and it may not look anything like that when it's all said and done, but they had to put something down in order to try and give an estimate.
Which
So that's
board
what they put down to get an
members
estimate.
are on the building committee?
Pardon me?
Which board members are on the building committee?
And that is something
Our
that,
new assignments will be,
It's
our new
probably
assignment,
Rich and Rob.
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Steve, no,
Yeah,
I don't
great,
think
I can
want some.
appoint, who wants me?
and we had changed, that'd be
I think,
Lindsay, Jordan, and Kirsty.
Oh,
Hey, look
the
at
new
us.
ones.
look at you guys.
We're not new anymore.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Congratulations.
Gosh, these two screwed me up something.
We're old hat.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Are you guys okay with it being on that committee?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we'll like better.
So first thing, we'll be getting some more information from JLG on what they would be looking at doing and what the costs would be, so you have an idea of where
Right.
they're at, and whether you wanna go with them or whether you wanna look at something
Yeah.
else, so.
I really, in looking at these things, the gymnastics center and the middle school entrance, really, because I feel like, the gymnastics center, I like their approach
Let's
they
say
took of adding.
gymnastics program. instead
Well-
of the center, cause it would be different,
Right,
the program.
the program.
Yeah.
I like the idea of attaching it to the gym, because then we could use it for multiple things. But I think we need to look at middle school safety first, probably, and go from there, but,
We'll keep that in mind.
yeah, well, no, I just wanted to make mention of that
Yeah.
I know we recognize that that's a need that we have, or we feel, are a want.
And it was pretty creative, the ideas.
Yes, the ideas were very
Options,
creative,
The options that they have.
yes. But
And
I'll be
along-
anxious to see what they come up with. It'll be good.
So if you're okay with that, I'm gonna ask them for some additional information, some additional costs on working on a little bit better details on what we'll be looking at. So that'll involve coming back to the committee and stuff, asking, well, do you need extra classrooms? What do you need for classrooms, or what do
Right.
we wanna do? And we talked about the lighting as part of it,
Yes.
to improve the lighting, so we'll just make sure they're aware of that and, go from there. So if you're okay with that, I will move on to the next step with them and get them moving.
That's definitely, yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
That's all I have.
I have a question on the dates of the meetings, the associated school board meetings. Are those like the breakout times when you have different, you can focus on different parts?
Mhm.
And some of them might be like a training.
Yep.
So are we signing up the new board members for?
Yeah, they
those
wanna
trainings?
go to those,
Because
just start
they're
letting
very
Mitch know, he'll
valuable.
get you signed up.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the, convention center or right
In
off
Sioux
the
Falls.
Denny.
Oh, okay.
In Sioux Falls is where it's
Okay.
held there.
It's
I-
not a waste of time.
No, it's
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Cause it just makes you,
Yeah.
it gives you like a lot of ideas.
And if I think Jordan, you went last year, right? Weren't you there last year, the year before?
2 years ago.
2 years ago? I try to go at least a day every year and try and kind of connect with some people, but you can go, well, Mitch probably has the agenda, right, that you could send to them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if it works for you guys, the school district pays
Yep.
for the
Yep.
registration and everything. And you probably get $35 for attending a meeting, I don't know. But it is really valuable, and anybody, if you're able to attend, because we just sit at different tables, so we don't have open meeting
Yep.
issues to deal with, so, yeah.
It's probably the first one I'll miss in many, many years, but there's a wedding on the 10th. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I won't be.
Pretty sure you won't be there, that's
Well, it's not
right.
me,
Yeah.
Steve, you know.
I think you're a part
I
of it
will
though.
look at my
You can
schedule.
kind of-
Yeah, if it just works out.
Mm-hmm.
But understandable if it does not. There's also trainings that you can do online
Mhm.
at your own pace. I remember, I did the finance one that I thought was really good, and I think the law one, those were very, very helpful to
Good
do.
to hear.
So, yeah. Let's see, was there one other thing? And then the early dismissal, okay. So what time are they dismissing for that DSU event?
Just like we do on a regular
Really?
dismissal, I think it's
Okay.
12:45 and 1 o'clock, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. We're treating it like a regular early dismiss that we have during the year.
Okay,
And
Awesome.
then we'll still have, football practice and cross-country and volleyball practice. We'll just ask those kids to move other vehicles to the east. So
Yeah.
if they do start parking, they can start parking them on that end first, so our kids will still have a way to get in and out. And they've been made aware of that,
all right.
so.
Okay, anything else? Other than a shout out to Mr. Shaw for that CTE grant. Nice work.
Yeah.
It's really beneficial for our school district. Okay, next agenda item. We have consent agenda items 10 through 15. And we can go ahead and discuss those if we need to, prior to taking a motion if we would like. If there's anything on there that anybody has a question on or anything. Designation.
You wanna read through them
Yeah.
just so we have them on?
Designation of the official newspaper as the Madison Daily Leader. Designation of the bank depositories. List all the banks in town: Bank West, Dakota Land Federal Credit Union, East River Federal Credit Union, First Bank and Trust, First Premier Bank, First Interstate Bank, and Wells Fargo Bank. Appointing Mitch Brooks as business manager as treasurer of all funds of the school district, and authorizing him to sign all checks approved by the board, including the trust and custodial and impressed fund checks. And to appoint the board president as co-signer of all checks approved by the board, and authorize Joe Jorgensen, the superintendent, or another board member to sign checks in the absence of the business manager or board president. And I believe that one, Steve is on there, isn't he, to sign, if I'm unavailable? Okay. Designate bonded employees, which would be Mr. Brooks, and our bookkeeper, which is Diane Oz, at $100,000, and then our activities director, which is Mr. Ricky, $15,000. Designate legal counsel as Lammers Clybacker, LLP, and KSB School Law. And finally, to appoint business manager as the authorized representative for the food service program title and IDEA federal funding applications, and the superintendent as authorized representative for all other federal and state programs.
I just have one question.
Yes.
On the bonded employees.
Yes.
How often do we assess those values and are they adequate?
So values have to do with how much cash checks we come in contact with. So they're right
I didn't know
about
if they
what
were
the-
tied to inflation or anything,
Yeah,
if we
no,
needed
no.
to do anything.
We do actually less than maybe we used to, but we still will pull in, there'll be certain weeks where we'll pull that in. So it's really where our risk is.
You mean at a time or a month or once you're in?
At a time.
At a time.
Okay.
It's more like a month, like.
What, well, I suppose
like
for a
yeah.
big weekend, the activity director can have a.
Yeah, well over that,
You don't know?
yeah.
The FFA fundraiser is our biggest event.
Yeah, it's big. But it's even more than one day.
Yeah.
Alright, well, just keep an eye on it, and if it needs to be changed, we'll circle back.
And then our insurance company kind of requires that we do such things, they kind of set limits.
Mhm.
That's where we get bond through.
Okay, can I get a motion to go ahead and approve those consent agenda items 10 through 15, please?
So moved.
Steve, second?
Second. Go ahead, Kirsten, you're faster.
Oh,
Do I need
Kirsten?
to abstain from this vote?
I think, you know
Or
what?
did we discuss it a little bit earlier? Whatever.
Yeah, I think we are okay, because we list all the banks in town. If we were just listing First Bank and Trust, we would definitely want you to abstain. But being as they're all listed, I'm okay with you voting. Yep. Do we need any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to approve consent agenda items 10 through 15, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, next agenda item is to approve the consent agenda items 16 through 21. And we'll do the same thing here again, okay? 16, approve joining the Associated School Boards of South Dakota sponsored Emergency School Bus Assistant PAC. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah,
Mr.
we've
Ferguson?
done this every year. It's a cheap insurance policy. Unfortunately, we've had to use it too.
Yeah.
Coming back from Belfouche or Custer, and we got to Kadoka before the bus quit. But anyway, all it does is if schools want to join this and you have a bus issue, you can contact one of the schools that's on this that's close. You can use their bus to get back. Vice versa, someone may contact us, they're coming through, their bus breaks down, we'll give them a bus, they can use it, they just have to get it back to us. They can't keep it for a week. They gotta get it back to us in a day or two. So it's cheap policy for us to make sure that we have a way to get kids back if we have a bus breakdown. So there's no cost. I don't know the school why they wouldn't belong to this, but we just make sure that you're aware. It hasn't even come out yet, but we're gonna wanna be part of it again.
We've also helped other schools.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with that, yeah, that's good. Okay, 17, approve the publication of staff salaries for 24-25 as required by state law. And those are published in the newspaper and on the website, is that correct, or just
published in our
newspaper?
minutes.
What's that?
They're in our minutes.
They're in our
both-
minutes.
In both.
Okay. 18, appoint standing committees. Now, there was not a link to those on our on our agenda, so do we want to hand those out, or should we?
If you're not,
Um,
basically, we filled in where
there was openings.
and Rob were. Oh, I did.
Kirsty, how do you
Yep.
feel about being the first for plaque? Would you be okay with that?
That's your monthly meeting?
Yeah.
Yep.
That, okay, first Monday of every
Tuesday.
month?
First Monday of every month.
Yeah, and it's a call-in, or you can come here.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that? Okay, that would be fantastic. I think we'd have better representation
Okay.
if, somebody else was doing that.
We have an alternate for that then?
Yes, I think, what did I do? Did you write down one I told you?
No, wasn't listed, obviously.
I think the alternate was going to be, one of the new ones, which I
I
would
was
like
gonna
it.
say I can.
Okay, so that it can be a learning opportunity
Yeah,
again,
absolutely.
okay?
So I do have them here,
Okay,
if you want to go through. So on activities, Joel and Steve are on that.
Which one was that, activity?
Activities, yeah,
Okay.
and we'll get you a copy of these. Capital outlay was
Work stuff.
Lori, Jordan, and Steve.
What now? Capital outlay.
Oh,
that's a,
Crisis management is Melanie and Lindsay. Budget review, Lori, Joel, and Kirsty. Health insurance, Lori, Lindsay, and Melanie. Transportation, buildings, grounds, Lindsay, Jordan, and Kirsty. Food service was Lori. Negotiation certified, Lori, Steve, and Kirsty. Administrative, Jordan, Steve, and Joel. And classified, Lindsay, Melanie, and Jordan. That's the new one, Jordan.
yep,
That's the easiest one.
We just went through black. Shed foundation is Jordan. Title is Melanie and Kirsty. And policy review is Melanie, Lori, and Jordan. So we'll get a copy of this out. And if some wanna have switches and such next month, we can make changes too.
yeah, if there's something on here, or if you feel you've got too many, just let me know.
Yeah, but you have got one at least.
I got 3.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I didn't know.
Try to even it out.
Yep, you've got,
Everyone else should have had the same thing they had last year, except for Jordan got added to classified.
so how many does that make you on? Did you keep track?
84.
Now, keep in mind, a lot of these committees don't meet that often. But
That's
you're on,
right.
just
I
in
think I'm
case.
on 4.
Okay,
But the one is like,
usually when
the
troubles
Ed
go
Foundation
on.
isn't,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's not really through,
yeah,
kind of,
we need to have a rep on there, but
yeah. They
you
like-
enjoy that?
Yeah,
We
Jordan,
have
we've
a-
met since May, but
Yeah, that's more of a quarterly thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a,
meet every 2 months.
yeah. I love that event that they do at the school,
Yeah.
with the handing out of all the awards. I didn't make it this year though, but it's a great event to go to, so.
There's no playhouse this year.
Oh, this next,
Yeah, Jean is done.
okay.
So Pastrell's is doing car. That's word on the street, I maybe shouldn't say that.
Okay, we'll keep
Anyway,
it,
moving right
we'll
along.
keep it confidential, right, Grams?
Me.
Yeah, except it's online, so. Sorry, Renee.
Oh, funny, okay. All right, so that's that part. All right, appoint surplus property, number 19, appoint surplus property appraisers. Steve Olson, Stan Fods, and Dan Hall. Okay. And 20, designate regular board meetings as the second Monday of every month at 5:30 PM at Madison Central School District. Okay, and 21, adopt district policies for 24-25. This action makes official the district policies for the year. Additions and revisions may be made as necessary during the year. Any discussion on any of those items that we didn't cover? All right?
Just that 21B is gonna be the next thing we discuss, yes?
Yes. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take a motion to approve consent agenda items 16 through 21. Steve, second?
Second.
Okay, Melanie. All right, all those in favor of approving consent agenda items 16 through 21, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, 21B. And that is an amendment to the certified agreement. Mr. Jorgensen, do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to, or?
Doesn't matter. We reopened negotiations just for that. We always kept the certified and the classified monthly insurance, from the district at the same. So with classified, we finished, it was with $675 a month. We had a 2-year agreement in place with the certified that was at $655. We opened it up to change that to $675, and they agreed. So just would need to be approved by the board, so that both classified and certified will be at the same insurance benefit. They both went up then $50 a month versus the year before.
And that number is for the family? Or
That's
the-
for the employee,
It's
period.
just for-
They can use it however they
That's
want,
for a single, or is that for,
however they want to use it.
okay.
Yeah. It's just the district will contribute $675 for the year.
Yes. So it's the district's portion of what we're contributing.
Okay. So moved. Unless there's more discussion or what?
No, well, will
Any
Steve and,
questions and things like this?
You can discuss after the
yeah, Steve, is there a second?
motion.
Jordan, all right. Any discussion on the motion? Questions? Did you want to say something, Steve?
I didn't.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please vote by saying aye.
Hi.
Those opposed, same sign.
I just don't want to feel rushed.
Motion carries. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, where am I at here? All right,
I find when we group them up like that, I get less questions asked.
I know it. Okay, Mr. Brooks, agenda item number 22, to consider approval of the Health Insurance Committee health rate
Pull that
recommendation.
up, Dan.
Our health insurance committee met a number of times, and then we did some different votes online and stuff, but, what we came up with was not changing any plan design, or co-pays or deductibles, but just the rate in which we're charging. And so the recommendation, this is the sheet that the staff get, it goes up $100 for the individual plans, all individual plans, $150 for all +1 plans, and $200 for all family plans. After the $50 a month increase, the net effect to the employee will be $50 per belly button. So the individual will be 50, +1 will be 100, the family will be 150.
150, yeah, not 200, 150.
Yeah, 200 is what the plan went up, 150 is what the employee will pay. And so what that kind of looks like, that's between about 7.5% to a 10.5% out-of-pocket change to the employee. Overall for the plan, it's a 15% increase. The recommended increase to us by Wellmark, by their estimates, was 22.2, something like that. So we did not go up the full amount onto it, so we may have to do a similar adjustment again in the next year. Our rates still fall less than if we went to private insurance versus being self-funded.
Yes.
There. Of our plan, it's estimated that next year will cost $1.29 million. 68% of the premiums come from the employer, that's our contribution, and 32% of the premiums come from the employee. That's their portion to it. That's just kind of a summary and then of the recommendation.
Okay, so you have the 3 plans, right? You got, or 4 plans. You
Yeah.
have a HSA qualifying one, and then 3 traditionals.
Yeah. It's just different. We try to put as much kind of onto one sheet as we can, and then we have the 80-page documents that we post on our SharePoint for staff to look a little deeper into it. But so in all that stayed the same. It's just the premium part that changed. But that'd be the Health Insurance Committee recommendation. It's difficult, to take rates up. I mean, we do try to make sure that we are a very good plan. We want to make sure that we are less expensive than a fully insured plan. If we're not, then we would go that way, but we're able to maintain it. If the trend, we've seen our health insurance reports, if that trend continues with a lot of large claims, we probably won't be able to stay self-insured. Hopefully we will.
Right. Well, and I will say, I mean, that is the trend. Insurances are, I mean, every year I think couldn't get it much higher, but, we negotiated ours to 18%, so I mean, this is,
We've had high usage the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And you go back a few years prior to that, we gave a holiday one time because
right.
we were just on the opposite end of it. So hopefully it'll
Yeah.
swing back a little bit versus the last 2 years. We don't know.
No.
Who's on the health insurance committee? There's also staff on there, I think,
Yep,
right?
there's
Yes.
12 members, we have one open position. For the
Nobody's
board-
taken it yet.
Yeah, for the board, it's Lori, Lindsay, and now Melanie.
Yeah. You wanted to say who the staff
All,
are?
okay, yep, Cotton, Diane, Joel, Kendra Weesey, Nikki Troxel, Joe Prattville, Aaron Savasi, Chris Waba, and myself.
Do we have some? Oh, yeah, I was just trying to think.
So you try to keep a balance amongst
Yeah.
the buildings and different agreements.
Right.
How was it accepted amongst the committee? Okay.
What's that?
You know,
this
nobody
is okay?
wanted to go up, this is
Right.
one of our larger increases. The vote to increase was 10-0,
Yeah.
those that voted. To change plans came in 60-40, which isn't enough to change any plans, so it stayed the same.
And I think the thing, what I appreciate about Mitch is he really does a good job of educating and giving options on that, with that committee. And, I read everything you send.
You might be the only one.
Well, it's, and it's part of part of my job, but it's, I don't know, I just hope we can hang on to the
It's
We
very,
don't-
it's very
insurance.
impressive, really, what you guys are able to do,
Yeah.
If we don't make a
It's
tough
worked
move
for a
like
lot of
this,
years.
right?
it's even tougher the next year
Right.
if things don't
Right.
change, so we gotta
Yep.
try to stay with it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so can we get a motion to go ahead and approve that health insurance committee's recommendation?
So moved.
All right, Joel. Second?
Second.
We'll give it to Kirsty.
As you say, for
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, 23, consider annual approval of the busing proposal from ORR and Chester School Districts.
Yeah, this is a yearly requirement. We have one sent to ORR tonight too for our request for their, they're the same stops they've had for the last couple of years, nothing's, the exact same stop, so I would recommend that we approve these. It's, again, it's a yearly requirement, Senate Bill 77 from years ago.
And we don't have a stop there yet.
We have it,
We
we
have
put
a-
in a request for a
For
stop
as well.
in
In both.
Ramona,
In Ramona.
because of the situation.
And in Chester as well? Not yet. Okay.
We just have one to ORR.
Very good.
Yep.
Okay, although, or no, how about a motion? Can we get a motion for that? So busing, okay, we got Melanie,
Second.
second by Lindsay. Any further discussion or questions on the busing proposal? All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Oh, gosh, I don't know, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? Jordan, second?
Second.
Okay, Joel,